He sounds like an Uber prick.
I prefer Uber comfort.
Good. Good one.
This is from Kate. It's an email. Hello, I'm a 26-year-old cis woman who is dating. I let it be known very early on that I'm omnisexual and disabled. When asked why I'm disabled, I don't go into details until at least date 5, so initially I just let them know I have seizures. I have an assistance dog for this, which is why it came up. I was on a second date with a cis man and ended up talking about children in our family.
Right, hang on a second. Sorry to interrupt. We're all learning. Remind me again what a cis man, cis woman is.
A cis man is where your gender identity corresponds to the gender that you were assigned at birth.
Okay.
So I'm a cis man.
I'm a
you're
cis
a
man.
cis man. Ben is a cis man.
Okay. Right.
Diego is a cis dog.
Okay. I've not decided yet, Jude. And what's
omnisexual?
Omnisexual.
Omnisexual is that you are attracted to all gender identities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's in the same sort of group, the multisexual space, as bisexual.
What's pansexual?
Well, pansexual, now, you can write in if you want, everyone. Pansexual is you are also attracted to all gender identities. But I think the difference between omnisexual and pansexual is basically the origin of the prefix, because omni is Latin, whereas pan is Greek.
Okay, right.
They mean the same thing.
Carry on.
Anyway, when asked, I was on a second date with a cis man and ended up talking about children in our family. He asked me, so how many children do you want? And I replied, letting him know that I can't have children because of my health conditions. The mood immediately changed. He simply responded with, why are you dating men then if you can't have a baby? Punch him in the face.
That's awful, Kate. That's really, really awful. I'm so sorry you had to hear that.
I was stunned into silence. I don't blame you.
I don't blame you.
He got up and left, muttering that I had just wasted his time.
What a prick. What an absolute prick.
I know the issue of children can be a deal breaker for some. My last long-term relationship broke down after I found out I couldn't have children. I'm left questioning now whether this is something I should bring up on a first date or even sooner.
God, no.
When should the topic of potential children in the future, or lack thereof, be talked about when dating? Thanks, Kate.
Kate, again, sorry you had to go through that, but it sounds like you've done well.
Well, you've dodged a bullet there.
You've dodged a massive bullet there. I think it's one of those that comes up naturally.
Yeah, and I don't think you need mention it unless you get onto the topic of children.
Yeah, unless you get on, if it comes up in the first date. It's one of those where they say, don't mention exes on first dates, but if it comes up naturally, talk about it.
Well, I really would try and avoid mentioning exes on
that's good
date,
advice,
really.
actually. But children, if it comes up on a first date, then fine, fair enough. But don't overthink that, Kate. And I genuinely think that is just a one-off and a bad experience. That guy was not a very nice man.
No.
And there is more good in the world than bad. And keep dating, because I'm sure, in fact, I will know.
And why was he just seeing you as a baby machine?
I know exactly.
And you could adopt.
I was about to finish my point, man. I know you will meet many lovely people during your dating experience. Carry on.
You sure?
Yes.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay. I forgot my point.
Oh no, sorry. Now I feel like
No.
it's a bit of awkward tension.
Do you know the person that Kate dated?
No.
Both are pricks.
Oh, that's awful. Kate.
That is awful. I'm sorry. Hopefully you have better luck next time.
Yeah.
But don't feel the pressure to bring it up at all.
Yeah.
You are, and message to other people, you are dating the person, not sort of whether they can have children or not. If you love them, you will love them.
Are you a Mikey track?
For sure. Now, again, do I need to explain how it works?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, on to, this is from At My Wit's End. Dear William, Jordan and PB, I've been working remotely for almost 2 years at the same company. For the entirety of those years, I have loathed one man on my team. Let's call him Earl. On my first week of the job, Earl publicly called me out in a Zoom meeting with 20 other team members, claiming I made a mistake and clearly needed more thorough training. To which I thought, obviously, as it's my first week.
Yeah, he sounds like a knob.
I choked back tears and held strong during that meeting, but broke down afterwards. As he is the CEO's brother, he, of course, was not spoken to about the incident and it was swept under the rug.
Of course.
Since then, he is adamant about interrupting me in every single meeting, regardless if I'm presenting materials or have simply been asked how my week is going. On one occasion, a co-worker was chatting with me during some time on a Zoom meeting about how she is eager to find a husband. Earl steps in and says, well, if, insert my name, can find a husband, surely anyone can. We've got examples of two awful human beings in this space of this correspondence section.
He sounds like an Uber prick.
I prefer Uber comfort. Thus far, I have chosen the route of staying professional.
Good one. For those who don't know, that's a type of Uber that you can order. It's a bit more expensive.
Yeah, and you can just tell them to make the air conditioning cold.
I bet you've got in your Uber no talking, please.
It depends what mood I'm in. What?
I just think that's so rude. I love chatting to Uber drivers.
I do too, but if I've got a call to make, I need to make a call. Thus far, I have chosen the route of staying professional by hesitantly laughing it off so I don't snap at him. However, I'm feeling utterly defeated and am applying at other companies purely because I can't stand dealing with him anymore, and he seems to get away with his behaviour of pure nepotism. Is it a mistake to consider leaving a decent job over one co-worker? Is there a professional etiquette to addressing the issue? I would greatly appreciate any and all advice. Love you all, and I'm grateful for the laughs your podcast gives me each week. Sincerely, at my wit's end.
Okay, William's going to probably give you the proper how to go through HR advice. My advice is keep a diary of all the times. So everything you've told us here, write it down when it happens.
That's a good idea.
Keep a diary in your phone, just on your notes in your phone. Either go above him or call him out. Ask to see a meeting with him. I know that's easier said than done. And I know it's quite a bullshit and I suppose a bit of a blokey thing. So he's like, have it out with him. And I can only imagine that it's easier said than done. But just give him a call and be like, have we got a problem here? Mm. Is there something going on here? List just a few examples that you've given us and have it out with him. If not, you definitely, absolutely need to go above him because this is constructive dismissal. Is that the right word?
Possibly.
I think it's where you have to leave your job because it's not your fault. They basically, they ease you out. And he sounds like he's got a problem with you from day one.
Yeah.
Your advice? You could also get legal advice as well.
Yes. My advice would be, for example, let's take the example where...
Join a union.
My advice would be if he says something like, well, if at my wit's end can find a husband, surely anyone can.
Awful.
I would say, and I think I've said this before in this podcast, say, I'm so sorry, can you just repeat that again? Because normally when you ask someone to repeat exactly again what they have said, they either backtrack or the penny drops in their head as to what they have said. So I would take that first. I would also, if any of your co-workers listen to this podcast or you have co-workers, could they not step in and help? Because they're surely not going to get fired if they flag that Earl is being a complete twit.
I just don't get... I feel bad as well because I'm whinging and stuff and what have you about. And working every day with someone like that.
Yeah. Try and rise above it. I know that's easy for us to say. Be the better person.
Definitely looking... If they've got an HR team, a lot of small...
Yeah, but I think the issue is that Earl is the brother of the CEO.
Go to the CEO. Speak to the CEO because even if it gets back to him, what's the worst that could happen? Speak to the CEO, make a list, send a professional email, speak to the CEO.
Yeah.
And then if you get dismissed or you have to leave, go to a tribunal, sue the boss. Go to tribunal. That's what I'd say. If you leave, then go to tribunal because you feel like you have to leave. And write it all down in a diary.
And let us know how that gets on for votes.